So real quick, I'm going to show how mage hunts work in Salt and Sacrifice. It's pretty self-explanatory, but anytime you see a glowing corpse and then you can walk up to it and press circle, that'll be how you start the hunt. And when you hit circle, this screen will come up, which essentially is showing you what type of rewards you're going to get, and then it has a little bit of lore. So I hit hunt the mage, and then you'll see like this kind of wind. I'm not sure what you would call it. It looks like black, like wind pointing you in the direction of like a clone of the mage, excuse me. So you're gonna come across like some projections of the mage before you fight the actual one. So here's one of the projections, and all you have to do is hit it a few times until it evaporates, and the clone or the projection will actually spawn enemies of its own, which will drop loot for you, as you saw there. So we got the first, I'll call them clones. We got the first clone down, and here we're gonna head towards the next one, which it will always point you in the direction of where you're supposed to go. This little black lines. So here we go is the second one, and this clone has spawned these flying creatures. So there we took that clone out as well. We got some suited nail, which when you go back to camp, you'll be able to use that loot and craft new things like rings and armor and other things, but I'll get into that a little bit later into the video. Now we're going to go for the third clone here. Skip these enemies and just get to the clone. No real reason to fight the enemies. Now this clone has spawned a little bit harder of an enemy there. Or bigger, I should say. I'm not sure if it's harder because it still died in one hit. Take care of these enemies blocking my way. Eat some bloodberry. Get some of that health back up. So that was the third clone. And this is the fourth clone actually. So this one's spawning in those flying creatures again, which as you can see is probably like 5 or 6. Or no, this clone is actually the hardest one I believe, because it spawned in the spider thing. And the spider takes more than just a hit to kill. And the spider's got a grab attack. So it looks like the clones get progressively harder to beat. But look, we got a gel sack, ash-caked lung. We got more loot from that spider. So there's been 4 clones in this particular mage, the pyromancer mage. So I'm going to rest at the obelisk so I can get another one of my hearth and flasks back. And I believe that and another thing that these mages will spawn is these blue monsters, which hit pretty hard and they're pretty tough to take down. I got a great hammer here, and it took me 3 hits to take that one down. Sometimes they spawn 1, sometimes they'll spawn like 2. I think I've even had to deal with like 2 sets of 2. Yep, and this is the 5th clone here. So this clone produced, I think, 3 of those blue monsters, which those monsters will actually attack other enemies in the area. So you can kind of hang back and let them kill other enemies in the area, but it's kind of risky at the same time because they could turn on you as well. And you don't want 3 of those things turning on you. And here we go. Arzhan Tin, the Ceaseless Fury. This is the actual boss fight here. I'm not really sure why it starts with that much health gone. I think because you attack the clones that it takes away some of the health. But this is the Pyromancer. It's got a flame attack, It looks like it's got like a swiping attack with its sword. It's got some fire, like clouds, I want to say, bubbles, whatever you want to call them. There's the flame attack, which again, it's not too difficult to handle. These definitely feel tuned down from the beta. Those attacks would chunk you in the beta for a lot of your health. And when you get them weak, hit circle on them and kill them, or else if you try and just empty their health bar, they will come back and they'll keep coming back. So you actually, when you get them to stun to a certain point there at the end, you actually have to hit circle on them. So we got a bunch of loot from them, from this particular one, and then you have to talk to it. It'll give you some options here of what to say to it. I'm not sure if it changes the outcome, whichever option you pick, but there's usually like a positive and a negative, and then say nothing. Usually 3 different responses you can have, and that is the mage hunt. That's all there is to it. There's different mages obviously throughout the levels and throughout Salt and Sacrifice, but all of them will play out like that, where you'll go to the glowing body, you'll hit circle, it'll give you some lore implications, it'll tell you the loot that you're going to get from that particular mage. Then I suggest after you're done hunting the mage and devouring the heart, I suggest you come back to your camp and use whatever loot you got from that particular mage into crafting rings and armor and different things, as you'll see here in a minute. And different doors in Salt and Sacrifice will open up the more hearts you consume. So I think there's a door where you have to just consume 1, then there's a door that takes 2, then 3, and so on and so forth. So you kind of open up the game and you open up different areas in the game by consuming these mage hearts. So I'm gonna go and I think I'm just gonna fast forward here because I talk to this guy, see what he's got, and then I go level up. So I'm just gonna fast forward here until you are at the part where you can craft different loot from the mage. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is come up to this glowing pot and hit circle to craft equipment. And now these are all the different things you can craft from that mage that we just killed. An amulet, a ring, a weapon, there's something you can, like a display trophy, different armor. I'm not sure if that's a shield or not, but every mage will drop items that you can come back to the camp, to this red glowing area, and then you can craft whatever you need. I like to craft the rings because they give me stat boosts, or the amulets, I believe they give you stat boosts as well, but I'm sure the weapons are probably like boss weapons and they come in handy too. But that's all there is to hunting mages. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video of Salt and Sacrifice. Peace.